Welcome back to the Great Green Home Show. I'm sitting here with a stat man, Doug Hunt, and I am Nature Boy. Who wrote that? Paulie Hughes.
That would be Paulie Hughes.
The Green Fox is always around collecting the latest stories on conservation, preservation, and new technologies, and we're getting better at this show, so we'll keep moving on and not spend too much introduction.
Alrighty.
We want to thank the sponsors, SunTrust Mortgage, CMI Electric, Energy Services Group, MyEagleAgent.com, what a great real estate agent, and Option Insurance Group.
What a great insurance agent.
There we go. And, of course, thanks to Mark Unruh for such great music. We need Mark to come back and do a few more licks, I think. But we have a show coming up we're going to talk about later. Today's show topic or theme, conservation, your best sustainable energy tool, waste not, want not.
You're just going to gloss right over that our guest today is Congressman Mike Castle?
I was going to come back to that.
Okay.
Your waste not, want not, your home, your power bill, your choice. That was a long introduction. Today's guest is Congressman Mike Castle, and he talks about global warming, other important issues, what they're doing up on the Hill, what you can do to move them along, and he's going to talk about the Greenways, which is my favorite topic.
We love the Delaware Greenways
We
project.
do love the Greenways project. So,
It's
Doug,
rocking.
you ready?
I am.
Go for it.
Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or use of the Great Green Home Show or its contents without written permission from the Green Fox, Doug the Statman Hunt, Professor Cletus T. Beaumont, Father Seamus O'Toole, or the Environmental Communication Foundation is strictly prohibited.
That means don't do it. Okay, what do we have next? What's our first segment here, Doug?
We have On Location with Cletus, and today we're talking with Professor Cletus T. Beaumont, this is sponsored by Energy Services Group.
Okay, we better call him up, too. We got to get that cell phone going.
What's that?
Just call him up on the cell phone.
Cletus?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to call him.
Go ahead.
But we're talking with Professor Cletus T. Beaumont, our forensic roadkill pathologist, who's on location at Cherry Island Landfill looking for the mother lode. Apparently, Professor Beaumont is on a mission to see what sort of habitat Cherry Island is and what kind of wildlife can be found there. And as always, we want to know, are they thriving? And if so, can they be cooked? Hello, Professor. Are you there? Can you hear me?
You're coming in loud and clear, Dougie boy. What a view I have from up here. Too bad I don't have that stinkometer from your last ECSI segment, but then again, this most odoriferous landfill probably would not have broken in anyway. P.U. You got to see this out here. There's a mountain of trash. I mean, literally, a mountain of stuff that could have been recycled. I got a whole collection of mannequins set up for a baseball game. I'm just waiting for the call back from the Phillies. They might actually have a shot at beating these dummies, because they're dummies.
Dummies, right. Excuse me, Professor, but exactly what are you doing at the landfill?
Well, as you know, I am one of the world's foremost authorities on roadkill, and it is my theory that most of the victims are killed by cars.
You don't say.
Yes, Doug, I do. All the time. After years of extensive research, holy dead tasty mackerel. I'm walking around here, you should see some of this stuff. There's old radios, TVs, socks, plastic bottles, paper, more paper, glass bottles, your old golf clubs. Doug, why's that driver bent? Food containers, packaging, glass windows, plastic bags. Phew, you know there's metal, plastic, paper, and glass all over this place. And not a dead animal in sight. Usually I can smell them, but up here, well, I know people are sick to death of hearing green this and recycle that, but somebody has really missed the point, Doug. You know, now they make countertops and tiles from recycled glass, and it's very inexpensive. There's siding, decking, and even clothes made from recycled plastic. Yes. What's that? Patagonia, them surfer guys, Chouinard, he's making shorts out of plastic bottles. They could even make rugs, clothes, and draperies from recycled rugs, clothes, and draperies. Is anybody else dizzy? And paper, man, we would never, ever have to cut down a tree again.
So, Professor, tell me, what exactly are you doing at the landfill?
Oh, yeah. Me? Well, as you know, there is no end to my voraciousness on my search for traffic-induced wildlife fatalities, and on occasion I explore obscure locales for cadavers of the less fortunate species. Unfortunately, today my lack of any such findings leaves me lugubrious and downtrodden, insofar as I've been unable to locate any of the aforementioned critters.
I'm sorry, Professor. Could you please translate that into English for me?
Yes, Doug. I was looking for some roadkill, and I could find none, and it makes me sad.
Thank you, Professor. Remember, next week, Professor Beaumont joins us
But
live
Doug,
from the
I've
Mobile
got-
Phone
I've got a-
Recycling
I've got
Center.
an old phone
Thank
right
you,
here.
Professor.
I've got some socks.
Alrighty, we have today's Green Tips, sponsored by SunTrust Mortgage of Christiana. Talk to me, baby.
Okay. Let's see. Who am I right now? Oh, I'm me.
You're you actually
I'm me?
now at
Okay.
this point.
Alternative sources of power and cleaner fuels. Oh, this is a great discussion. This will be fun. Alternative sources of power and cleaner fuels. To answer the question of where do we find the new or different energy sources to replace the finite, dwindling, dirty ones? And I'm actually, because
Dirty resources.
dirty resource, I know, that's so condescending. I'm going to go to K. Okay?
Are you a dirty resource?
No.
You're so dirty.
All right, so I'm going to go to the one that everybody overlooks, and that's conservation. Reducing your travel, staying closer to home, simplifying your life, turning the lights out, turning off your phantom loads, not using as much. I think this is the most important resource that we have. You and I could probably at this point, or Energy Services Group can walk into a house and reduce their energy consumption by 35 or 40%.
Well, certainly
by
20 or 25. Just by walking in and going, by the way, you want to turn that
Turn
off
that
to
off.
standby. By the way, you want to do that. By the way, you need to do that.
duct tape your child, keep them off of the air.
Exactly.
I understand. So conservation is number one. We don't need to be finding everything we can, turning our trees and our roadways into alternative fuels, and before you know it, okay, that building's got to be ground up for alternative fuel. Conservation is what we need, and it's the hardest thing because we have to change our habits.
Conservation.
All right, you want to start at the top now? Now that I've had my soapbox.
Sure. We've got our first source is solar, both active and passive collection for air, water, and heat. And of course, that's it translates to a lot of the things that we've already been talking about. Talking about doing the hot water collection for your doing your laundry or
payback.
Even showering. Short
5
payback,
to 7 years before you get free hot
fairly
water.
inexpensive to do in the first place, and then a very quick payback, et cetera, et cetera.
And their credits and incentives will be asking.
And you can
Congressman
actually do
Castle.
it in this part of the world because you can heat that water even in the wintertime. So.
And 132 degrees. You actually have to cool it in order to put it through your floor. You can actually put solar hot water below your floor. You can put it in the concrete for the lower level. So let's move on because we have about, a minute left?
You can put it in your little sister. She makes you angry.
Yep. Geothermal. That's taking heat and cooling from the ground. We have hydro. If you're close to any sources of hydroelectric or a stream that has a quick fall, you can put a little turbine in there. Hydroelectric is actually the most efficient of all of the alternative fuels.
Really?
I think. Tom Marston may call me on that, but I'm pretty sure that hydroelectric, dollar for dollar, gives you a quicker payback.
Damn.
Nicely done, Doug. Solar collectors, solar reflectors, those are big plants that they have out in Phoenix and in Paris. Paris has one. Spain has one. Doing very well with capturing the sun by reflecting it back with mirrors. Actually, we still have another minute. We got good time.
Yeah.
Wind power, I think we'll cover
large
that later.
and small wind power.
Right, and actually, I heard somebody that was putting up a windmill where I thought they couldn't have one, and actually they are.
You mean where you just didn't think it was going to be terribly
No, it wasn't a
efficient?
Class 3 site,
Right,
so
but
windmills are getting
but
more
they've
efficient.
They've got ones now that are so light, the blades are so light
Right.
that you only need a Class 2 to make them work.
And so check that out wherever you are. What do we got next?
Recycling waste oil, vegetable oil, biodiesel fuel, and other stuff like that where we can actually reuse.
Nothing like driving a microwave.
I actually power my entire house with the vegetable oil that I use for my buffalo wing. I'm just kidding.
But you should.
But you can.
And we love your
not
buffalo
whole
wings.
house,
So
I don't eat that many wings. I eat a lot of wings, but not
I
that
like
many
driving behind a car that smells like McDonald's. Oops, plug for the opposition. We're running out of
with
time.
That, we're gonna have to.
We're gonna go.
Go to a
Don't forget your
commercial
battery
break.
power.
We'll be back in a couple of seconds.
Hydrogen, ethanol. Keep
Yes.
cutting me off.
Got to go
Mess
pay
it
the
up.
bills.
All right, and mass transit. Don't forget that.